Welcome to Gen Con News. We are officially 174 days away from Gen Con and counting. My name is Kristen Jensen, and this is my great friend Mike Boozer, and today we are going to go over housing registration. I am so excited. How about you, Mike?
I'm really excited.
I know. It's just like, it's one of those times of year where, it gets really exciting for us. I just said excited about 3 times, but legitimately, it's so great. We got badge reg that happened a couple weeks ago. Housing registration is this weekend, starting on Sunday. And before we know it, event reg will be here. And then after that, Gen Con, baby.
That's right. Thanks, Kristen. We're going to, like Kristen said, we're going to go over how to get your housing off of our site on gencon.com. And we're going to go through some of the basics of what you need first to get housing. Yep. Gen Con, for you that don't know, Gen Con has its own, it has a housing portal where when you get a badge on your account, you can go and get a hotel room as well on your My Housing page. But let's go over one by one steps here first.
Look at this meta view we have. Yeah. That's very exciting.
Very exciting.
Mike and Kristen and Mike and Kristen and Mike and Kristen.
Yeah, we're within each other. Yeah, it's pretty amazing, isn't it?
What Mike was saying before I interrupted him was that if you're brand new to Gen Con, we work with our partner company, Q Rooms, to secure lodging throughout Indianapolis at a discounted rate for our attendees during the convention. And we are, today we'll be accessing the Q Rooms and Gen Con housing portal to show you guys exactly how the process works. So if you're brand new or need a refresher, you're in the right space.
So let's go step by step. The first thing you need to do is you need to buy a badge at gencon.com. You have to buy that badge by today, actually, at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I believe. Yes. But it's important to note that you must buy a badge on your account to be eligible for the portal. If you buy a badge for someone else on their account through your own account, they'll be eligible through your portal and not theirs. So if they sign in, they will not have access to housing. So
you have to be the purchaser of the badge.
Yeah, you must purchase the badge.
Okay.
So if I purchase a badge for you, and I purchase a badge for Derek, and I purchase a badge for someone else, I'll have all the housing on my page, and we'll show you how that works really quick. So that's what you need to qualify. So we're back to our friend Christopher Walken, one of my favorite actors of all time. And Christopher's got some badges. I bought badges for Christopher.
That's very nice of you.
Yeah, it was very nice. And then, so now I'm going to go to Christopher's My Housing page, which is right here. And I'm going to click on that. And it says I'm already signed in, but I am. So, here's the housing links, and this is the links as they appear once housing is open, request room. Your links right now will be gray, which means there will be no information there. Once you will not have access there. Once we have, you've all bought your badges, and once those badges are purchased, tomorrow we will randomize everyone in the housing queue. That means everyone who has a badge on their account will get a random time assigned for Sunday. So tomorrow we'll assign those times, and you'll be getting an email that says what your time is. And if you go to your My Housing page, which we did not do to show you here, but I'll just tell you, there will be a countdown timer, which will count down the exact time that your housing gets open. So, for example, for Christopher, his is already open, but he'd have a timer. It would say what time he can go. And then once that timer is expired, he'd go down and you'd see these request room links just like you see here. So he bought a badge for Barbara Streisand. I guess they're friends. So they must be. So him and Barbara both have a housing link. So once Christopher has his link and he's ready to go, then he'll want to go in as soon as his link is ready, and he'll want to go to request a room. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to go over to Christopher's room, and it's thinking about it, connecting to the housing portal.
So we recommend signing in about 5 minutes before your scheduled housing time. So pay attention to your email. And also I've seen it go to people's spam folders before.
Yeah.
So if you don't see your time, there's a couple ways you can see it. Either check your spam folders or just going over to gencon.com, signing in, and then heading to the My Housing page, and you'll see it there as well.
Your timer will be there. So this is saying it's going to, you're leaving Gen Con. You're going to Q Rooms, which is our provider. So you want to click yes. And now you're at Q Rooms on the site to get your housing. So once you're here, what you can do is look for rooms. And so there's lots of different ways to look for rooms, but you'll first all want to put in what dates you want to stay at Gen Con. So your check-in date, for example, I'm going to stay the 30th, the Thursday. And you want to note here, Gen Con dates for this year go over a 2-month period. You've got July here on the left and then August, since it starts on Thursday the 30th. But I'm coming in on the 30th, and that's my check-in date. And then I'm going to check out on Sunday the 2nd.
Now we have a minimum stay requirement, right, Mike?
You need to stay 3 nights at any downtown hotel, and you have to stay over the Saturday night. That's true of the downtown hotels or the hotels closer to the convention center. The suburban hotels do not have that same that same minimum requirement.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can. Yeah, they don't have the same thing, same going. But most people want to have a room that's close. So you can only do 1 room, by the way, for every access. So when you access for Christopher, he can get 1 room. He has to go back in and get a second room if he's got enough people to do that. For every 2 rooms, you get 1 access. So 1 and 2 people get one room access. 3 and 4, you get 2. 5 and 6, you get 3, and so on.
Okay, so if you buy a badge for yourself and your partner, and you're both going to Gen Con, the system will let you book 1 room.
That's correct.
Okay, and then if you buy a badge for yourself, your partner, and your friend, the system will let you book 2 rooms.
Yeah.
Great.
And you'll have to book them individually. So you'll book this one and then you'll book the next. So, So 1 room, and Barbara and Chris are staying together for some reason. So hey, whoa. So now I click find, and it will search for rooms for me. So I'll click find, and it gives me the rooms or the hotels available. And it'll list them. Important thing to note here is that you can adjust your price range for what you want to see, and you can sort by different areas. You can sort by name of the place, or prices, or distance from the convention center. So
you can sort pretty much and narrow it down to like what is most desirable for you. I know I talked to a lot of folks on social media who are like, honestly, I'm attending Gen Con on a budget, and the cheaper the better. I don't mind if I have to take a ride share to the convention. I would much rather pay less for a room or take the bus. And then there's other folks that are like, nope, this is my vacation. I've saved up all year.
Right.
Absolutely, I want to have the closest possible hotel.
Right.
So it all depends.
A lot of people search either of those 2 ways, and I'm searching distance in order to figure it out. So I'm giving the hotels, and they're done by distance, how far away. So for example, here we've got the Embassy and the Fairfield and the Marriott, and all these are Westin, and all these hotels are close, very close to Gen Con, so there's no real distance. As the Sheraton in Indianapolis City Center, it's only 4 blocks away, then 5, and then, for example, then it gets into the mileage. So basically, you're looking down here, and these are further and away, and then these are closer. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to stay, let's say I'm going to stay at the Marriott. I like the Marriott. So I've got my dates. I'm going to stay there. And so now I can select my hotel once I've decided which one to do. So let's go and select the Marriott. and now I've got the Marriott here, and now I've got what I can do as far as room types. So I can, if I need 2 beds, then I can go get 2 queen size beds, or I can select the king if I'm just going to get a king.
Christopher and Barbara can sleep in separate beds. It's not quite as scandalous.
It's not as bad. So they are not going to be using one. So they're going to select this. All right. So they can do that.
There's a libel lawsuit coming our way real soon.
It's important to note here that that it'll give you the total amount due, but this is before taxes. Okay. So this is the amount the hotel will charge, but when you check out, it'll update. You'll have to update with taxes and how much extra that is for your taxes. This screen this is the screen where you give your guest information, all your information about names and email addresses and addresses and all that kind of thing. If you're a rewards member, you get some rewards. You can put in additional requests that you may have, like for a refrigerator or something like that. It's important to note on this page here as well that if you need an ADA accessible room, you can click right here, and it will inform Q rooms that you need a room. You will get assigned a room to start with, but then Q rooms will review all the ADA accessible room people that want those rooms, and then they will make a reservation based on the need for that room at a hotel.
Pretty white glove service, which is nice.
So what ADA does is gets you an accessible room. It does not really influence how close you are to the venue one way or another. Mm-hmm. That it just makes sure that the Q Rooms knows that you need an ADA accessible room, and then they will try to find one for you. So that's and
I think it's important to note too, once you're in this page, once you've selected your hotel, so once you said, we went on the page back, we said we want a double queen room, and we went into this page, you have 10 minutes to complete this booking.
Yeah, once you get past this page.
Before it goes back to available inventory, is that right?
Right, yeah, you have 10 minutes. So it's important. Yeah, it's important to note that you need to, complete your booking as soon as possible. We're not going to go any further on this page because we have to put in information. We're not going to do that. But this is the information page where you would go, and then you continue from here to continue your booking.
And it's a standard checkout process from there. Very easy. Like any other checkout process that you've encountered. So if you're here doing this for the first time, let us know if you have questions. No problem. We're happy to answer. So we definitely recommend having your credit card ready. If you need to confer with your partner about which hotel room you're booking, I would have them by your side because it's you only have 10 minutes to get through this page. So while I think that's more than enough time to do it, if you're looking for your card or if you're trying to hail your spouse, it can eat up that time pretty quickly. So I would say have those things in place before you start checking out with the portal.
Yeah, and it's important to note that you need a credit card that's going to be good through the dates that you're attending. So you'll need a credit card that's good through those dates. So make sure that your card is up to date that you're using for that. There's a lot more information that you can get from this site as well. You can search through a map and look at where things are on a map in
Sorry, I have mic problems. Hold on. Okay. Hold on, Mike. I don't have mic problems. I have mic problems. Hold on. Is this better? Can you hear me now? Remember those old cell phone commercials? Yeah. Also for our second lawsuit of the night. Great.
Are you live?
I am.
Okay, great. So this is just an example of the searching. You can search here as far as where the property is in, and you can zoom in and look at those properties if you want to look at them on a map to see where they are. You can also search by unclicking here. You can search all properties whether they're available or not. An important thing to note is that once you get your property once you get your hotel room and you've completed the purchase, you can always go back in and there'll be a modify button on your housing page. So you can go to here, and there'll be you can modify your existing hotel. It'll take you back into the portal, and it'll let you search for any available rooms that might be been put back in the system. People cancel rooms. Gen Con,
honestly,
all the time.
Change plans all the time. I mean, take it from customer service manager Mike Boozer, who's responding to these requests all the time. People purchase badges, and then in March, this or that happens, and they cancel their badge, and that hotel room goes back to available inventory. And guess what? It was exactly maybe what you wanted. So I would highly recommend checking back throughout the year. And when you go back to this is something I see on social media a lot, so I'm gonna bring it up, is when you go to your My Housing page and you select the button to modify your booking, it doesn't actually change it at that point. So don't worry about that you'll lose your original reservation or that you'll be charged the cancellation fee. Don't worry about that. That's just to get you back into the housing portal, and you can feel free to browse all you want. And the only thing that's actually going to change your original booking is if you do the same process as we just showed you with another hotel. You're like, I decided I want to stay at the Westin instead, and there's a room there. So once you complete that process with the Westin, you select your room type, you put in all your information, and you hit submit. That is the only point when you're going to actually lose that original reservation.
Once you've purchased a new room, then your existing will be canceled.
Feel free to log in, take a look, and if there's nothing in there that you like, close the window.
Yeah, but not until then. So
you're good to go.
Yeah, so you can always look throughout the year up until housing closes, which is, I believe, July 15th. I'm going to check right now. July 13th, July 13th, registration ends. So before that date, you can do that. You also want to note that you'll need to accept the terms of service at the end here. But you can look at the terms of service here and the details of the terms of service, and you can read all about what those are. It's important to note also that there's at certain times there are certain cancellation policies and all of that information, and you can find that. Just some pretty good information for cancellation. Anything canceled before June 8th at 11:59 Eastern is subject to a $50 cancellation fee. After that, you are subject to a one night charge.
Okay.
For that. Once the hotels get your reservation, which is after July 13th, a week or so after that, the hotel will charge you if there's a cancellation fee.
Okay.
So your reservation is held by us and by Q Rooms until that time. So calling a hotel after you got a reservation and saying I'm booked at the Westin, they'll go, we don't have any booking for you. That is because they don't have the reservation yet, and they won't have it until it's turned over. So that's important information to know as well.
Definitely is.
I don't have anything else. I don't think to go over specifically.
Yeah. So we did a blog post earlier on the week that had a few good tidbits of information on it. So I would definitely check that out. Maybe we can throw the link in chat here now. It just goes through just through the basics along with commonly, what's the word I'm looking for?
Ask questions.
It's not like an FAQ. It's more just like here's what I hear frequently that is or is not true.
Right.
So frequent misperceptions.
Yeah, and you can always email customerservice@gencon.com and just email us and ask us a question. If we don't know the answer, we'll figure it out. We'll find it for you or get you where you can, if you can find it. Trying to think of anything else important.
I think those are the important things.
I think the portal is kind of you're going in and you're getting a room. Everyone's times will differ.
We're gonna switch out your mic real quick.
Oh, okay.
Your condenser is dying.
Oh, we have both of us are having mic problems. It's not just me. So this time it's Mike's mic problem. So excuse us while we switch these over for a moment. Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties.
So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and pop them in the chat. Not only can Mike or I answer, but we've got our friends from Q Rooms who are available in chat as well to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you so much, Jordan, for posting the blog link. Again, that has some basics on there and then some of the common misperceptions that I see. One of the most common one I think I see is, because I think it used to be this way, maybe before I was at Gen Con, where you could transfer rooms between accounts.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, that was a few years ago.
But you can't do that anymore.
No, there's no transferring rooms between
Okay.
accounts. Once you've made a reservation on your account, that reservation sticks with your account. Another common thing is some people believe that there is a belief out there that buying a badge at a certain time will get you a better access, which is completely untrue. If you buy a badge at the beginning when Badge Reg opens, or whether you buy a badge today, has no bearing on where you're put because you're completely randomized. So
your name goes on a D20 and we shake it with like 1,000 other D20s.
That's a lot of D20s. A couple thousand.
And then we see what happens.
No, so it's completely randomized, and there's no bearing on when you buy your badge. You just need to have it bought, and you need to have it bought today to have access. If you're having issues with that, you can email customer service at gencon.com. I encourage you to do that. Because we will be answering those questions today and this evening and trying to get everyone set up so they're ready for housing opening.
All right, so here are the steps. Step 1, buy a badge by 11 p.m. Eastern tonight. That's 10, 9, 8, let me do the math, 8 p.m. Pacific. So have your badge bought by that time in order to get into the initial housing queue. Tomorrow probably morning-ish.
Tomorrow sometime,
you'll receive an email with your access time for the housing portal. If that does not appear in your inbox, or if you can't find it in your spam, not to worry. Just head on over to gencon.com, sign in, and look under the My Housing link, and that's where you'll find your scheduled access time. And from there, my friends, you just hang out, kick back, relax, enjoy, and then when it's your time, click on the link and go through the process. Super easy. If you guys don't have any questions, we don't have any answers, man. We're trying to riff as much as we can, but I don't know, man, if there's no questions.
This is faster than badge registration, which is really strange. But that's okay.
Ask us anything Gen Con related. Come on. We've got the studio for a certain amount of time today. They're going to charge us anyway. Come on. All right, Mike. Well, do you have anything else?
I don't. Just that, to get in and make sure you get in right at your time if you want, access. There's outlying properties that, you can always find. We really don't quite sell out of properties. Usually there's something available. It's just not necessarily what you want downtown or anything like that, but there's always properties available. So, and the real focus of this whole thing is to get you somewhere to stay at a kind of a reduced rate.
At a discounted rate.
A discounted rate.
We want to make sure you are safe and secure and have a nice place to sleep. We offer it through our partner Q Rooms at a discounted rate. So, there will be a place to stay, my friends, and we will have that all hooked up for you. Well,
I should have probably gone through this. So once you have gotten a room and you've confirmed your room reservation, then if you have another access, you can go right back and access the portal again, and then get your second room reservation as well.
So you close out of, once you booked yours,
you
close out of it.
Book it, and then you go back to your account. You'd go
your My Housing.
Yeah, to your housing account, and you
then we can book
another. He doesn't. Christopher doesn't have access because he would have had a link here and had his housing. Then Barbara's link will go away because he's only got one opportunity for one reservation. But your other reservation, if I had put my name in here, would show up here, and then then you could go in and get another room as well.
I think that's it.
I don't have anything else.
All right, friends. Well, if you already have your badge, you are good to go, and there's no other steps. If you don't, go ahead and buy that by this evening. Otherwise, we'll see you on Sunday when you come in to book your room. Well, I mean, we won't see you. I mean, we'll be around. I mean, but hopefully we won't talk to you because the process will be so smooth and so easy that you'll have no need to talk to us. And that's the hope, right, Mike?
Yes, absolutely.
But if you do encounter issues, if you have questions, we are around all day Sunday. Q Rooms call center will be open for you. And then you want to click that link, the housing and travel guide for the Q Rooms contact information. That's going to be in there as well. So they'll be online all day Sunday for you. We'll be online all day Sunday for you. I will be monitoring the Twitters and social medias so that if you have questions or excitement, I am here for you, my friends.
Yeah, and the housing guide is right through here. So under attend, housing and travel, that'll get you to the FAQ on housing and eligibility and all the information you really kind of need for that. If you want to browse for hotels and hotel information, you can go to the hotel information page, and that will take you to a place where you can look at hotels, where they are, what their nightly rates are. So you can search that way as well before you can do this before you go to
go ahead and take a look. So
yeah,
I definitely recommend taking a look at the housing and travel guide. Again, that's under the on gencon.com, as Mike is showing you now. You'll want to hover over the attend. Maybe we can show it, possibly. Is there a way? Great. Okay. Thank you. Under attend, housing and travel, and then the housing and travel guide. It's about a 5 to 6 minute read.
Yeah.
I'd say ish. Honestly, I can't recommend it enough. It's going to give you all the information you need from there. And if you have any other questions, there is contact information there for you. All right, friends. That is it for our Gen Con 101, Gen Con News Housing stream. My name is Kristen, and this is Mike. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today, and we'll see you at Gen Con 2020.